So we're closing out this session, this module, talking about vision. And here's the thing that you need to know. Vision isn't just for you. It was given to you by God, but it was given to you so that you would invite others into it, that you would serve and serve other people through it and share it with others. Maybe you invite people into your vision and your ministry and your organization, and they're just prayer partners, but they need to still hear the vision of where you're going to intercede for you in the secret place. Maybe you're going to invite people in financially. And so you need to be able to cast vision and their return on investment. What are you actually doing with their money? And then maybe you're inviting people in to serve with you, and they need to have a picture of what you feel like the Lord wants to do through this ministry to be able to serve effectively. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how does the vision that God has given me become sticky? How do I share the vision in such a way that causes people to want to be a part of it at all different levels? I'm pulling this teaching from a book by Andy Stanley called Making Vision Stick. And I want to just be a little clear. There's been some controversy regarding him within the last year or so about his stance on the LGBTQ issue and gay marriage. And despite the controversy that's kind of surrounded him, he actually is a brilliant leader and teacher and carries a lot of wisdom in this. And so this is a situation where we need to eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? We need to not worry about what he's doing over here, but focus on the teaching that's going to help us carry these visions and birth them and make them a reality. And so making vision stick actually requires a realization that it's not sticky on its own. It feels sticky to you because you have the vision, the picture inside your mind. You can see it clearly, but to others in their daily life, it's not actually that sticky. Everybody has visions and dreams for themselves. They might be having a vision to get a bigger house or have another baby or get a better job or retire soon or whatever it is. People are constantly dreaming and thinking about their own personal lives. And so your vision actually isn't a part of their world. And it's not because they don't care about what you care about. It's just that their mind is on so many other different things. And because of that, the vision that you've imparted will actually quickly get moved out of place because they're focused on so many different things. They're thinking about their future and what they're going to do, and they're just trying to accomplish things in their daily life. And so even a team of paid employees, even people that work at a church, have to be reminded of the vision, and they have to be able to see it with clarity to execute their job according to the vision and move towards the same goal that the rest of the leadership is moving towards. Always remember that vision was given to you by God. Therefore, you must own it, steward it, talk about it, and contend for it. Vision requires you having more than just a mental picture of what it could be and should be. It will require you to communicate it to others and to invite others into it. And ultimately, the reason that God gave you the vision is because it's going to require you to pay a price to turn that vision into reality. For each and every one of us, our visions are going to cost us differently. And so there's not a straightforward cost that you have to pay when you pioneer something, when you make a vision a reality. But there's one guarantee I can make to you is that it's not a single burst of energy or a few months of passion or a great idea that's going to make this a long-lasting ministry that impacts people. It's going to require daily attention and daily commitment. We need to talk about the 5 objectives of vision for you to understand how to make this vision sticky to others. The first one is to state the vision simply. Vision, if it's going to stick, has to be memorable. It has to be one sentence or less. People don't remember and embrace paragraphs. They remember and embrace sentences. It must be clear and simple. If it's a mist to the pulpit, it's going to be a fog in the pew. And that came from Howard Hendricks, who's a theologian. We have to understand that what we are struggling to see, what we're contending for and asking Lord for clarity on, is much clearer to us than it is to anybody around us. And so we have to speak with clarity. We have to be concise. We have to be simple. We don't want to use massive words, big words out of the dictionary. We don't want to make it a long run-on sentence. We want to be clear and concise. Number 2, cast the vision convincingly. Cast the vision convincingly. In order to do that, the first thing that you have to define is actually what is the problem. You have to define the problem. Every single vision is a solution to a problem. You must convince them that you're offering a solution to not just any problem, but a problem that has to be solved now. See, I don't know about you, but I constantly have papers on my counter. I just can't keep up with all the school papers that are coming in, all the mail, the work papers. It's just there's a constant onslaught of paperwork in my house. And I have a pile that's, hey, I need to deal with this now, and I need to deal with this later. If your vision doesn't make it into somebody's pile of dealing with now, if there's no urgency behind it, it's going to go in the pile for later and be completely forgotten about. So you have to define a problem that needs to be solved now. The second is to offer a solution. Your vision has to be the solution to the problem. And here's the reality. Even if you have a solution to a problem, you haven't actually captured their hearts yet. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later of how you actually capture somebody's hearts. But when you're offering a solution, it has to be to a felt need. People have to actually feel the lack of this solution not being solved or this problem not being solved, and therefore see, oh my gosh, this is a simple solution that would solve this problem that I've been wanting to be solved for a while. The third is present a reason. Vision only sticks when people believe that something has to be done now. If they leave the meeting without urgency, you've actually lost them. You have to answer the questions, why must we do this, and why must we do this now? So why must we do this, and why must we do this now? See, your vision actually is solving a problem that many other people have seen. You're not the first person to think that this is a problem or to be concerned about it, but what others have seen and been content to ignore, a leader sees it and takes action. They pioneer something and they pray for a solution from the Lord to solve that problem. So the only difference between a problem and a leader who has a solution is that the leader came along, they saw the problem, and they took action instead of being content to stick with the status quo. So my question to you today is, are you content in this area that you're feeling some burden around, in this area where the Lord has been speaking and dreaming with you over the last couple of years? Are you actually content with the status quo of your church, or have you moved to a place of discontent where you must act? Number 3, repeat the vision regularly. Vision should evoke emotion. This is the difference between someone just hearing a solution to the problem and them, like you actually capturing their heart in it. Vision has to evoke emotion. And that's why it's best communicated verbally, whether it's in a sit-down meeting, in an office, or over coffee, or a phone call, or a Zoom meeting. People need to see your face. They need to see your expression. They need to see your tone. They need to hear your tone. Maybe you're communicating vision from the pulpit on a Sunday morning. But either way, vision is best communicated verbally. And you need to take into account when you're communicating this vision, when are people most attentive? When is everybody there? Like if you're talking about the regular everyday rhythms of a church, maybe it's best to communicate something the Sunday after Easter, because you know that there's all these visitors and all these people that don't usually attend, and people tend to attend Easter service or a Christmas service or a holiday service, and then also attend the Sunday after. So it's, when are people going to be there, and when do I have their full attention? We all need to be reminded of why we're doing what we're doing, yourself included. Even carrying the vision, one of the reasons that you bring leaders in is so that they're reminded, you're reminded and you're strengthened in the vision that you're carrying. And we need to be reminded of what's at stake. Why do I need to solve this problem now? Why is this worth all the effort and all the struggle? And then the last thing in repeating that vision regularly is figuring out, in the rhythm of your organization and the rhythm of your meetings with your staff members and the rhythm of financial supporters, in the rhythm of all of these things, how am I communicating vision regularly so I'm not panicking that it hasn't been communicated in a while, but it's part of my regular process. One of the ways that Josh and I do this with our financial supporters is that we actually communicate vision once a week. When we're posting something on our group page, we'll say like, and this happened, and this is why this is a part of the vision of the school, right? We're just dropping little hints, dropping little reminders where they're seeing real life situations change and shift. People are getting saved, students' lives are being transformed, and they're connecting the testimony of what happened to the vision of the school. Number 4, celebrating the vision. Once again, the organization, once the organization and ministry is launched, we need to celebrate these wins on a regular basis and systematically. What's celebrated will overpower vision every single time. So if you're celebrating something that's not a part of your vision statement, people are forgetting about your vision statement and they're thinking that's the most important thing. You need to connect the vision, like I just shared Josh and I do with our financial supporters. You need to connect the vision to a win, to a celebration, to a picture of what's happening. They need to have this tangible idea and this thing that they can tangibly see of, wow, the student's life got transformed. That's connecting to them training and sending pioneers with a heart for revival, right? They need to see the connection tangibly, not just in black and white in a sentence, but through real testimonies and real stories. And remember this, celebrating things trumps motivational speeches every time. You can talk until you're blue in the face about vision, but when you're celebrating it, people are actually going to catch the emotion of it and their heart's going to be stirred to be involved in it. Embrace the vision personally. This is the last part of these objectives. Embrace the vision personally. Your willingness to embody the vision of your organization will have a direct impact on your credibility as a leader. Living out the vision actually establishes credibility and makes you a leader worth following. When people are convinced that the vision has stuck with you, then it will be able to stick with them. Don't try to manufacture energy around something that you don't have. Just live that vision out authentically. When people that are close to you, that see you in your good days and your bad days, see that you've embraced this vision personally, that you're living it out on a day-to-day life, they'll sense that not just in your words, but in your heartbeat and what you choose to put your hands to, your money to, your time to. They're going to see that you're investing in this personally, and it's going to make them want to invest in it as well. When you feel vision weary, though, as we all do, it's not actually a bad thing for you to invite those closest to you to pray. But show them that the vision matters more to you than the momentary lapse of passion or excitement. Let them see you continue to live this out and continue to make this a part of your life, despite how you're emotionally feeling about it in that moment. Your commitment to steward the vision both publicly and privately will make or break the reach and the longevity of your ministry. It will build or break trust in people. It will make the vision sticky or not sticky. It's up to you to steward this personally, to be committed to it personally, and live as if this is the main goal of your life, because it is. See, the Lord planted this vision in your heart for a reason. He knit you together with a purpose. And when you look at the vision So often we try to measure it based on everybody else's vision around us. We try to put a number on it based on the number of people that it impacts, the size of the buildings, the size of the ministry, how many people are we reaching every week. But every single purpose is big in the kingdom of God because every single purpose has been knit into us by God. It's literally what our lives are meant to do. And so every single purpose is big in the kingdom of God because it's been knit into the fabric of your being by a big God. See, God doesn't give small visions or small purposes. We just downplay them because we're comparing them to the person next to us. Don't waste your time measuring and comparing. Just move forward in confidence that in his eyes, you're making a big impact for the kingdom because it's what you were destined to do.